No, I'm not telling you. You have to watch it yourself.
I'm not going to.
No, you're gonna watch it, the whole thing through, and then we're gonna bond over the final act because I can't ruin it for you.
I'm not gonna watch it.
Yes, you are. I know you will secretly.
I'm not gonna watch it, so if you'd like to tell me, that'd be really nice.
No, I'm not gonna tell you. You have to watch it.
I love spoilers. I'm probably the only person who actually likes them because that means I don't have to sit there and watch it.
Can we stop the ride? Can we just stop it?
Oh my god.
Gotcha.
Thanks for driving, by the way. I don't have a license because I'm just like, why not have people do it for you? People make such a big thing about doing things for yourselves.
How was your weekend?
Just below average.
Okay.
How was your weekend?
Oh, I golfed. Yeah. Oh, like mini golf, like
Right.
pretty. You know, I'll pick that up. But yeah.
Tim's Fun Park. I love it there.
Awkwardness, me, hi. That's, yeah.
Yeah. Now both looking at me. That's not that funny.
don't do that yet.
Do anything
Okay.
right.
Woody! Look! Oh, now it's like a game of life. Meeting Jim was such a trip the first time because there's like nobody in the world I admire more creatively still, but at that point, I mean, really like my biggest hero in the entire world. So I was just terrified to go meet him. I mean, I was like nervous stomach, like up at like 4 a.m. in anticipation of a meeting at like 10 a.m. because I was so like, I have got to be ready for this. And then I met him and it's like, he turned out to just be not only this incredibly brilliant, hilarious genius, but also just all heart, you know? And so I felt like that, I think that rare experience of getting to meet your hero and then they actually exceed your expectations, which I don't know if that ever happens. And then over the course of the last 4 or 5 years working together, it's been so incredible to be able to work on something and turn to somebody you admire so much and say, what do you think? You know, I mean, it's something else. I think it is easier to direct a film being the writer, maybe only because you've spent so much time with the material. You've lived with the characters, you've grown them, you've rewritten them, you know, you've really spent a lot of time with them. And so I think probably the area where it helps is that so much of filmmaking is about decisions. It's about, do you want the red shirt or the blue shirt? Would they wear these socks or those, you know, and being able to make those decisions. And having lived with a character for, you know, 3 or 4 years, it's very easy to know, oh, of course they're gonna wear the blue shirt, you know? Whereas I'm sure there are great advantages to coming in as a director and having completely fresh eyes on a script as well. But I think in terms of just the decisions and the knowing, I do think having spent a lot of time imagining these people helps with that. I did a lot of research for this, and that was really the kind of the foundation for the whole story and the whole tone of the film. When I first wrote the script and sat down with Jim, we talked about taking a real journalistic approach and interviewing a ton of teenagers and spending time at high schools. And so I did that. I was on the phone with a lot of teenagers for hours asking all sorts of questions, and it kind of turns into little therapy sessions, and went to a high school dance, and, you know, just to kind of be a fly on the wall and watch and observe. And there were so many wonderful little details that came out of that research and those long talks, that it became clear just how complicated this age is. It's as complicated or more than any age, you know? And so I think it just, if anything, boosted a sense of mission for the film to really capture truthfully all of the facets, the whole gamut of this age and this generation in particular. Casting Nadine was by far maybe the biggest challenge of our film. I mean, it took a year of casting, of seeing literally 1,000 different girls came in to read. And I think what's so challenging about this role, and why I have such incredible admiration for Hailee, is Nadine is so many different things, and so many different things that are antithetical to each other. You know, she's tough as nails, but she's also so fragile and so insecure, and she's incredibly funny, but then she can just bring you to tears the next minute. And finding an actress who could do all of that and really be able to do it seamlessly and quickly was such a feat. It was so hard to find somebody who could really embody all of that. And then Hailee walked in after a long, laborious process and search, and delivered every nuance, and then added her own layers, you know, a whole bunch of other stuff that I didn't even know was so right for the character. And that was so exciting to see somebody go from, to see a character go from the page where you have one idea of them, and then suddenly a person embodies them and takes them to a whole other level. I mean, I think that's the best part about working with really talented people, is that they take your stuff and make it better and elevate it and run with it. And that's so exciting as a director, to get to work with people you admire and see them riff on an original idea and make it their own. Working with Woody was just, I mean, just like getting to work with somebody you so admire and also are just, I'm just always enamored by his talent. I don't know, it's like watching magic to me in a lot of ways, because it's the tiniest little mannerisms and nuances that he throws in that I'm like, how did he come up with that? How is he so alive and in the moment that each take is different? Each moment is absolutely alive and specific, and he's so goddamn funny. He's so funny, and then he can rip your heart out. I mean, I think that's the truth about both of them. Is both Hailee and Woody is that they both could be so funny and then have such a sincere moment right behind it. And yeah, I mean, I just felt so enormously lucky to get to work with somebody that talented and that just, it was incredible that he could take that character and run with him, I mean, that was the other thing, is Woody came up with some of the best jokes for Mr. Brunner. Like some of his little in-between things, like the pencil sharpener is all Woody. Like when Nadine is talking, going on in this monologue, he reaches over and sticks the pencil in the pencil sharpener to drown her out. And that's all him. And it's one of my favorite jokes in the film. And it's his. And I think like that's the cool part about working with people you so admire, is that they make things better. Every choice they make elevates it. Watching Woody and Hailee together was always so much fun, and there was so much laughter involved, because the two of them are so, they riff off each other. They feed off each other in a way that's so exciting and funny and totally the two of them would go off on these little tangents, and I just wouldn't even call cut. I just let them go, because they would be so funny together and they would just keep going. And I mean, they have such incredible chemistry together, and they're both such wise actors and also incredibly gifted comedically. Both of them got how to play off each other and how to play off of each person's sort of respective humor and the character's humor. And they were just both totally engaged in the moment and playing. I think that was the really cool thing about watching the two of them together, is the amount of play that they would do. They would both just run with things and try things. And that was also really exciting for me, was to live with certain dialogue and have them do it that way, but then say, okay, just like all bets are off, like do whatever you want, have fun with it, and then see where they would end up. And that was really exciting, to see them both get their characters so completely that they could do that and then come up with, stuff that a lot of stuff that made it into the movie and is so indelible to their characters. Erwin is kind of an amalgamation of different guy friends that that I grew up with and went to high school with. And I just love the idea of a guy who's awkward in a totally lovable way, and awkward in a way that actually, when you get to know it, is so cool and so specific to him, and that you can really fall in love with. And Hayden, I talked about the idea that like a lot of the things on this film that we thought were going to be easy turned out to be so hard, and the things that we thought were going to be hard turned out to be easy, and Hayden was one of them. When I wrote that character, I didn't know, I thought I was going to be on just a hell of a search trying to find him. And Hayden was actually maybe like number 2 or 3 that came in the door. And when he did, he got the character so well, and then added so many other dimensions to him that it was clear immediately there's nobody else. It was like, stop the search, we got him, this is it, lock him up, it felt miraculous, him walking in the door and getting that character so well. And the thing that I think is so special about Hayden is first of all, he has a mind that's lightning fast. His ability to improv and play and riff and just be loose with things is like unparalleled, like I've never seen. It's just the more room you give him to play, the better he is. And that was my experience with him as a director, was just wanting to give him room to do his thing and to find this character. And I mean, there's so many things that he did that you can't write and you can't even direct. I mean, just the scene where he answers Nadine's call, and he's home, and he just does this whole sort of like stumbly thing where he's just trying to say hello to her. You can't write that. You can't. And he's so funny, and the little moments are so funny. So I don't know. I just felt enormously lucky to find him, and that he exists, and so happy to give him a chance to play this role, and he's just so talented as an actor. I'm so happy he's out there. I'm so happy the world gets to know him. The Age of 17 is about that time in your life when you feel like everybody has things figured out except you. And it's about a 17-year-old girl who's never quite fit in, and always struggled with that. And then her best and only friend starts to date her older brother, who happens to be very sort of overachieving and have it all together, which leaves her to fend for herself socially and emotionally and in all ways. I really hope people watch it and they go, oh my God, that's me. I've been there. I've felt that. Oh, I think for me, when I've gone through things that are really tough, one of the things that's taken the sting out of that pain has been great movies or books or art that tells me someone else has been here. There's a real relief in that, I think. And I hope that people watch the film and feel that. I hope that they see themselves reflected in it and they relate, and it does, like, that it makes them feel less alone in the world, and that we're all in it together, and it's messy, and it's complicated, and it's funny, and it's heartbreaking, and it's all these different things, and we're all in it together. So yeah, I hope people feel that way, and I hope they laugh.
Hi, Vali here, and I've got some movie title trivia for you with a list of movie names that have become part of everyday speech. Now, let's start off with the movie Single White Female. My new roommate is kinda needy. I hope it doesn't turn into a single white female scenario. Fatal Attraction. The sex was great, but I think there might be a fatal attraction thing going on. Animal House. We went to a frat party last week and it was a total Animal House. Rashomon. Trying to investigate this murder was like a Rashomon. Everyone had a different story. Gaslight. He married this woman and proceeded to gaslight her to try and get her money. Sophie's Choice. My daughter's play is at the same time as my son's first football game. It's going to be a real Sophie's Choice. Rayman. That guy is a genius. He's like a total Rayman catfish. I totally got a catfished last year. She turned out to be a 44-year-old guy. Groundhog Day. This week at work was the same, day after day. It was like Groundhog Day situation. Have you ever used any of these sayings? Are there some I missed? Let me know in the comments below. And remember to subscribe to our channel for all the best trailer releases. See ya!